All right, welcome into the Daily Fix with your host Ron Hughley. Each and every day, 12 Central Standard Time. We do this. We appreciate you joining us. Hey, let a friend or 19 or 25 know as we continue to grow this thing, and you all have helped us grow it in a major way. So we appreciate you daily. Right there in that little box where he rightfully belongs, there is Steve Serta. Hello, Steven.
Hi.
There you go. There you go. Hey. It's Tuesday, man. Pick it up now. Got postseason starting on Saturday. The Chiefs obviously will have the Texans. We'll get through that and the rest of the matchups throughout the week. Before we do get started, we do appreciate you, as we said, listening. However you take us in, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. If you have not done so, we do urge that you head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media, where you can watch and catch all of our content. Like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe, and you can easily get all the great content for Brian's World, which comes out tomorrow on Wednesdays. Beach season every single week, just as well as Show and BK. The post game with Serta and Rocky. That is always a fun thing to watch. Hopefully, a good thing to watch coming up on Saturday. And all of the future content that we will be doing on Foolish Club Media. Like and subscribe. Remember, if you do not do so, you're preventing my 3 children from eating. Not going to hold you too long. First, damn, Sam. I feel like Sam Darnold, I think he knew he was just losing money by the minute in that game in the last 2 weeks. We'll get to Sam Darnold coming up. And then is this Jaylen Watson thing a real thing? That may be the most single important thing going into this game. But before we get to those, I want to start here, sort of give you my 2 minutes. A lot of concern. I heard Kyle Brandt on NFL Network saying it. I've heard a lot of people been saying it. Chris Sims is throwing his flag in the middle of the field for it, and it is the time off between snaps, because most of the major players for the Chiefs, they've not played a game since Christmas, literally since Christmas Day. And I would imagine they've probably been protecting them in practice. And some of the guys that have needed some rest, Mahomes with that ankle, Travis with his age, Pacheco with the ribs, they've probably taken it slow. And so I think a lot of people have talked about the rust as a factor. And what I would say to that is, phooey. How many times have the Chiefs been here, man? How many times have the Chiefs been here with a bye? How many times have they done this? Like, yes, I mean, Christmas is a minute, but I don't know. I don't believe, to me, that this is going to be a major deal, and that if the Chiefs lose the game, we're out there like, whoa, that time off was something else. You want to talk about rust? The last time these two teams played, he went months without throwing a pass to Hollywood Brown. Bam, timing route across the middle on 4th down. He hits him right in stride. He goes. They had how many days did he practice with DeAndre Hopkins before he played his first game against the Raiders? Sort of like 2 days.
Yeah, like 2, 3.
Yeah, right in there. Timing routes at the end of the half. He threw him a pass on the first drive. So look, I think it's more of a help of rest than it is time off. That one, to me, I will be shocked if the Chiefs struggle in this game and it is due to time off. I would think the time off is probably more, let's help the knee of Jawan Taylor than the rust of Jawan Taylor. I think Jawan Taylor probably going to have some problems with Danielle Hunter or Will Anderson, regardless if he played last week or he set the last 2 weeks, right? So, I mean, I just don't – I think that's being overstated. The Chiefs have had byes in every one of these playoffs that they've been on this run except for last year.
Yeah.
So and they literally did this 2 years ago or several years ago when they made it to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Bucs. They had multiple games where they set their players the last week and had a bye. So I don't think this is that big of a deal.
I just wish national, like NFL media, would just take a little bit more time to think about these things.
Well, you got to have a tape. You got to have something.
I get it, but like Yeah, and most of them are just like, oh, it's the Lions year, or it's the Bills year, or it's the Ravens year. It's anything but just being like, oh, the Chiefs are one of the greatest dynasties that we've ever seen, and it looks like they're set up for another Super Bowl, because that's boring. And so it's easy to be like, oh, they've had all these one score wins this season, and now they've had 25 days of rest going into the playoffs. That's obviously going to weigh heavy, even if they've won back-to-back Super Bowl championships. And it's like, no, they've done this before. Andy Reid is one of the best preparation coaches in NFL history when he has extra time to prepare for opponents. And they've been doing that with all of this extra time off and getting healthy. Andy just spoke to the media and said everyone's expected to practice today because the Chiefs needed the time to get healthy and prepare for the playoffs. So I am not concerned about the extended period of rest whatsoever. They've been here before and have more experience than any other team in the playoffs.
It's just not that big of a deal to me. I think it's a positive, more of a positive. All right, speaking of Andy saying everybody is expected to practice today, that means Jaylen Watson. And to me, I think it may be the biggest thing in this game for the Chiefs. And it's simple, right? We've had this conversation on Show and BK every single Friday, every morning. You can check that release right here on Foolish Club Media. They were a top 3 defense and maybe the best defense in the league when Jaylen Watson was playing. Then Jaylen Watson gets hurt against the Niners, and they are in a free fall in terms of pass defense for about 5 weeks. Then they bandage things up a little bit, and it gets better, but still clearly it's a problem. So, I mean, that is a huge difference. And then this kid was on the team last year, obviously starting, and they were the best defense in football. I can't overstate how important he is and how important it is to not have 13 and 2 and 27 all on the field at the same time. All of them make me nervous. 13 and 2, I feel like they are confused about coverage 50% of the time they're out there. In the last time they played the Texans, there were just multiple times on 3rd and longs or 2nd and longs that they just let a guy go free because I think they were in confusion. And to me, I understand you got to probably play one of them. And if you can allow McDuffie, who is an all-pro this year, and I don't even think has been playing in the position where he can be great at, if you allow him to slide back in the slot where Spags can blitz him and feel comfortable, and I can feel comfortable having to nurse, Joshua Williams and help him as opposed to have Johnson and Williams out there. Cross my fingers that Shamari Connor's not healthy yet, but to have all of them out there, I'm sorry, I know it's mean. I just don't like he can't cover. And it seems like Spags is allergic to not playing him. And it's not a coincidence to me that things have picked up a bit with that Roland Wallace kid out there as opposed to him. So I'm just saying, Jaylen Watson, his importance, if he's right, and he's been practicing since the Pittsburgh week, if he's right and you go Jaylen Watson on the outside with Williams, their size, and then McDuffie on the inside, I love that. And I think Spags is comfortable running this defense the way he wants to run it because he can trust that Jaylen Watson knows what he's doing.
And so Andy Reid did add specifically on Jaylen Watson. They want to see how this week of practice goes. Says he's not ready to say that he's totally ready to play a full game, but didn't rule him out being available on Saturday. So he's still going to be practicing this week, and it seems like he is trending in the right direction. But it's possible that maybe they think he needs one more week to make sure he's like fully game ready.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. Yeah, they may not play him all. He may not. Obviously, he's going to be on the snap count. But I'm just saying, hey, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, roll in there, baby.
Yeah, and that's where you need him because he was tremendous in coverage before his injury this season. And it's a game changer for the Chiefs defense. And you're right. I do feel like they've learned their lesson on Shamari Connor a little bit. Like where
you think so?
I just feel like the way the secondary improved during his injury, like you can't just go back to it. You can't just put him back out there. And I like Chamari Connor as a player, but he was a straight up liability in coverage.
Sort of coaches have soft spots, just like Andy. I feel like Andy. Somebody had to get to Andy. Hey man, you just can't play Kadarius, because Andy was going to keep playing Kadarius Toney until he made sure he got that right. I don't know what it is. Spags. It's not just that Spags loves Shamari Connor. He won't change what he's doing. He'll still have him in coverage, singled up. So I just hope, as you said, cooler heads prevail, and maybe he's just not ready to go, as mean as that sounds, because I think he did get up slow in the Denver game. But Jaylen Watson, that's to me the biggest thing to watch in this game. All right, finally, last night, Sam Darnold just lost millions of dollars, and it is crazy, Serta. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when he was hoisted in the air after they beat Green Bay and they threw water all over him, and he had a Pro Bowl level season, and through the first 17 weeks of the season, he goes 36 touchdowns and 12 interceptions and played big time all year and helped them get to 14 wins. What is that? The third best record in the NFL. The last 2 weeks, he's lost to the Lions and missed several touchdown passes in that game. I believe Dan Orlovsky said 5. And then last night, he held the ball, and his average time in sacks was 4.5 seconds, is how long he was trying to hold the ball during that game. He got sacked 9 times, a sack, fumble for a touchdown. He threw a pick. They were saying $50 million is maybe the starting point with Sam. I think that may have come down to 25. I think Sam Darnold in 2 games, even though, yes, 14 out of the 17 games he played this year, he was excellent. I think the nervousness of what Sam Darnold has been has taken people to a point where they're like, nope, we're done. We're done paying him like big time. I think Minnesota is going to go ahead and move forward with J.J. McCarthy after those last 2 games.
Yeah, it's tough, and I do kind of feel bad for Sam Darnold because it was one of the best stories of the NFL season, I thought. But this is kind of what you get when you're trying to kind of play in this mediocre outside of elite territory quarterback. And Sam Darnold, this is what everybody was worried about from him all season long. And I don't even think this is all his fault, but also to act as if they should have paid Sam Darnold coming into next season and just saying like, hey, sorry, JJ, he just played so well, even while you were unhealthy and you couldn't be on the field for us. Like, they drafted that guy in the first round for a reason. So I don't think it was always a little absurd to me that everybody was just assuming Minnesota was going to bring him back. But what he showed this season, he certainly deserves a Geno Smith deal. Like, what he did this season is better than anything Geno's done in the last couple of seasons with Seattle.
Sort of. I think if they continued this thing and let's say they won that game against Detroit and they're on the 1 seed and they're in the NFC Championship game, I think it's pretty hard to cut Sam Darnold loose if he gets you on a run. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, and that's why I'm saying I think Sam lost $20 to $30 million. A good $20 million, I think Sam lost on this thing. And now Sam, which the part that to me has to be frustrating for him and sucks, but it's just kind of the rules of what happened at the beginning part of his career. He's going to be judged far more on these last 2 games. And as you said, they weren't all his fault because his line was getting whooped yesterday, and the receivers weren't getting open. I don't think Kevin O'Connell did a great job. But he's going to be judged on these 2 games as opposed to the other ones that he played where he was excellent throughout. And that sucks for him, but that's where it's going to be. So, Sam, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is just taking you, and you've lost $25 million. Damn, that sucks. Hi, Mom and Courtney.